I think what is the lesson that we can share with each other, and how can we learn from each other? Because there's a lot that I can learn from Zimbabwe, similar to what I can share with Zimbabwe in terms of what we've done. What we've done so far is the ownership of the charter. We started becoming independent in 1994. By 2002, we created the mining charter that then became a government policy and a government legislation in 2004. And the charter had deadlines, 5 years and 10 years and so forth. So we said not less than 26% must be owned by indigenous people. And over and above, we said not only the ownership, the housing and living conditions standard, all your workers must own houses. Because in the past it wasn't like that. And then we also went further, do skill transfer. When you do skills transfer, make sure that the skills that you transfer, that you're not just going to have technical people being the senior people. What about the people that are coming from the rural community? Employ them. And in the area where the mines are, in the rural areas, there are no mines in the cities. Employ the local people here. Don't bring people from one province to come and mine here when in that province where you're mining, the technical skills come from maybe Transkei, or they come from the technical skills maybe might be coming from Northwest. Why? Because the mines were all in the Northwest, Johannesburg and all this area. And then you mine in another region that is not or a province that you don't have skills. Make sure that the local people are going to be given skills, and then you're going to be given a grading. You're going to be graded according to the charter compliancy. And also, not only that, make sure that you also do beneficiation. Make sure that you locally produce. You don't know to produce of minerals, but whoever you sell your product, your commodity to, encourage them to come and comply to Section 26 that says, if whoever buys the mineral, that person who buys the mineral, the Minister of Mines must consult the Minister of Trade and Industry, and consultation with the Minister of Mines, Minister of Trade and Industry. If I'm going to be the manufacturer of BMW in Germany, they can ask, but why do you do it there? Why don't you do it here? So that is why we find it in South Africa. We've got a lot of BMWs, a lot of Mercedes and Datsun, Nissan and all that. Companies are not just locally assembling, they're also manufacturing from the beginning. But we must go beyond just the cars. We have to look at other commodities. Now you have got lithium, and you've got other commodities that are energy commodities. The future is the critical minerals. The specific critical minerals are the future. And my worry is you find the foreign direct investment coming from China and other countries in a big way to own. Where is the local need, and where's the local desire for the ownership to translate to the ownership together with the foreigners, for the ownership to translate to the manufacturing locally, for the ownership to translate to skills transfer, for the ownership to translate to making sure that we also assist the rural communities where the mines are done to own shares, because what we've done, we've got rural communities not only less than 5%, in Morula Platinum, which is one of the companies I use, Impala Platinum does mining here also in your country. In Morula Platinum, the tribe own not just 5%, but they own 7%, 7 tribes, and the money that they get doesn't go to the pocket of the tribal leader. The money that they get goes into rural mineral projects. I presented here how the money that the tribe are getting, 293 million was given in 2023 as dividends. Every year they get good dividends. They build their own roads, they build their own bridges, they build their own clinics, their own schools. They don't just wait for government. In partnership with the local government, municipality, and provincial government and national government, they look at together what is the town and house planning rules, what is the town and house planning plans in terms of what the government is going to do, and what the government is not going to do, whatever the community wants to do, the community then does it themselves. This is Africa's unique model that I think I'm saying to the African Union and Parliament and our President. I'm happy he was here, and we're saying to the President of the African Union Parliament, the African Union Parliament head office in South Africa, can we not allow the portfolio committee of all the committees in South Africa to come and share with African Union Parliament committees the road we've traveled, to come and share what we've done, and let them go and have case studies, to go and look at the projects, go to the mines, have a see what's happening, go to manufacturing plants, go to the banks that own black people, also own banks, go and see how it was done. And then from there, let us come with the terms of reference and a specific policy. You come to Africa and you want to own a mine, this is the rules. You come to Africa, you want to own a bank, this is the rules. Then we have an empowerment charter and codes continental codes and continental charter for all sectors of industry. And then it becomes then the terms of reference and it becomes the policy. And if you don't do it, you're not going to get a license to trade. The responsibility is on us, Africa, to become seasoned Africans. It's our responsibility. Let me make an example. There were years I refused to take dividends because my partner was marketing the commodity, did not pay tax. They did transfer pricing, listed capital. Okay? Me, as the economic activist, but I, as an African in Africa, said no, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to take the dividends because taxation is not paid. That tax the government needs to give the Department of Transport for roads, Department of Health for clinics and hospitals, Department of Education to create schools. And every department needed the money from the taxation. So I said, now if I'm not going to be doing my share to help the country and the continent and my country, then I'm also going to be looting from my country, and I'm also equally guilty of what we say foreign direct investment are doing to us, but I'm doing myself to my country. So I went to Parliament and I said, help. I've got a partner, I can't tell you who it is because I signed confidentiality, but Minister, you can call me outside and you demand to know and I'll tell you. You can come to Parliament and tell them who it is. Then they won't sue me because I didn't tell the Parliament, but they'll sue you. They will can't sue you because they said in Parliament. But it doesn't matter who it is anyway. What matters is, let us look at what our laws in South Africa do. So the portfolio, then I went to portfolio committee in Parliament, trade industry, finance and mining together. It was a joint committee that was done for other reasons. And I brought to illicit capital and transfer branch. I said, I need my money now. I'm not getting dividends. And I can't run my office because there's no money coming in. Why? The business said, hey, no. I refuse. As the money comes in, I send it back to the company. I said, I don't want that money because the tax is there. And then they don't do it right. Then I say to them, the reason why it's done is because this company does the marketing contract. So they market the commodity, they sell it to themselves in a marketing company they own from our mine, and then they go and sell it for a lower rate. If the commodity is $2,000 per ton, they sell it for $1,000, so $1,500, cheap. And then they take it and they sell it off, transfer pricing, they transfer the price, where the real price is coming at $3,000 per ton or $4,000 per ton. And then they say the taxman, I can't pay tax because the balance sheet shows a negative. They're not saying to you that they delinquently tempered with the price. They didn't bring the real price from offshore. So then I said, so we have to look at something. Then the Judge Dennis Davis Commission was done. Judge Dennis Davis Commission was created to look into, the judge was asked, can you have a commission of inquiry to look at the transfer pricing and non-taxation. And then our legislation was amended. But it didn't stop there. It also went as far as the African Union, where the African Union also appointed President Mbeki to be the chairperson of that committee for the African continent. So we mustn't stop there. Now, it's not only that, we, the producers, must also not go and list everything offshore. If the resources and reserves are in Africa, why don't you have your primary listing here and you can have a second listing anywhere else? Now, it's said that a lot of the companies that gained their dominant wealth from South Africa went to list offshore. Now, I know in other countries like Germany or other countries, they don't allow you to do that. If your commodity is here, they don't allow you. Okay? So all I'm saying is that governments will have to look at that. And we, not only depend on government, because government is not doing the listing, we are doing the listing. Why don't we have a situation where we're going to have our primary listing here and a second listing anywhere else, so that the money and the wealth and the brand and the GDP doesn't go and get diluted because now your listing is offshore. You know, a South African company, you know, a Zimbabwean company, you know, a company from Africa, you know, a company from Europe, China, or America, or whatever. You know, so I'm saying, so it's not just us having to blame the foreign direct investor that come in. What are we doing as citizens of Africa? Where's our commitment? To which extent are we going to say the money will come anyway? Okay, but we have to do it right. And that's why our children, they call themselves born free in South Africa from 1994. They're 31 years of age because we're 31 old as a country. They don't want to, their children are very militant in terms of the right to do. They're economically very demanding in terms of what has to be done properly. That's why you find people like Ibrahim Koutaure in the presidents in Niger, not Niger, no, in Burkina Faso and all the other countries. The youth are coming up and saying enough is enough. And if we the elders, Madagascar also, enough. And if we the elders don't wake up, the youth will take over and the youth will make sure that we do the right thing. Thank you.